The hell?
You
Nice
know
and
what?
warm.
I just
Yeah.
realized something.
Welcome to podcasting.
I don't know if it's
Yeah,
going to change the
podcast.
title because the last
All
thing
right,
was
I am
what I
right now
did
going to go over to
was
my
a scripture
restream.
of the day.
Oh,
You know,
crap.
you
You know what I
are
did?
destined to be a TikTok star.
You know what? I just realized
All
something.
right, well, I'll
What?
have to go and change
I don't know if it's
that.
going to
Let's
change
see
the title
here.
because the last thing was
Fun Friday.
that I did was
Just
the
gonna hit
scripture of
Fun
the day, and
Friday.
I
It's not
definitely
gonna
don't want
change it
that
on
on there.
everything, but afterwards
Everything
it
comes
will.
out of your computer says scripture of the day, and then every now and then it
All
changes.
right, well, I'll have to go and change
Just saying.
that. Let's see here.
Typing
Fun
speed.
Friday.
Yeah,
Just
somebody
gonna
is
hit
going to
Fun
have
Friday.
to
It's not gonna
make
change it on.
sure to send me all that information so I can add this afterwards, if that's okay. I'll gain 10 pounds for eating 3. Just saying. Oh, love it. Love it. Love it. Let's see. All right. Orlando, what's your Twitter handle? Oh, hang on. I know I got you on here somewhere. There it is. Okay. All right. I have tweeted out the YouTube and tagged y'all. So, I think it should. Oh, you know what? I did it for YouTube instead of for Tor. Is that okay? Guys? All right. All right. All right, I think I've got everything up and running now. Let me look again, and yes, we are on YouTube. Okay, I did tweet it, and I included everybody. I guess it didn't pop up. That's okay. I'll go and get it again. Hang on. I'll put it in the room. I'll put it in our little chat. Hang on. And I have put it in our little chat on Twitter. Okay, good. 5-5, my peeps. Whoop whoop. Thank you, baby fist. Whoop whoop, Razoroo. Hey now. I wonder if I can still fit in my Elvira outfit. Probably not. That's unbearable, Jim. There you go. Great idea, Tiresome. It's not time to leave their show yet. My show doesn't start until 4. Uncle Bones, how you doing? It's the in-between show. All right, wait a minute. Let's see. It's Jim. Okay, yeah. Monkey in the middle. Oh my goodness. I said monkey in the middle. Oh my goodness. I need coffee. There you go. All right. There you go. Share away, Ninja. Well, you can throw it. You can throw the link in. Yeah, the fun and wacky Friday thing. Go ahead and throw it in there. Hey guys, while I'm thinking about this, thank you so much for the prayers for my sister. She's went round 2 now chemo, so you Jim, you know where she's at mentally. It's like yeah, she's gonna continue to need those prayers. So we're praying for a complete healing. That's what we're praying for. Absolutely. Okay, and Babyfist just let me know that Ron Paul just confirmed he is okay. He is in the hospital, but he is okay. Woo, yes. He gave a picture and a thumbs up. There you go. There you go. Babyfist has dropped the 8-Coon Coffee Ninja link. Thank you, Babyfist. You rock. Oh, okay. Uncle Bones wants you to repeat the phone number, Orlando. All right, we have somebody new. Norma Wong. Hello, Norma. I've not seen your name in the chat room before. Welcome. Yay. Newbie, newbie, newbie. Oh, see. Well, she's new to me, Jim. I had to do my newbie dance. Newbie, newbie. Thank you for coming over to my channel, even though you're Jim's. I'm kidding, Jim. I'm kidding. Okay, I hear you. Ah, gotcha. Oh, don't even get me started on that. I've seen, yeah. No, you can't be the sole distributor. Can't happen. What did you run? I know what you're doing. Yeah. Quotation. He was quoting somebody. Yeah, I need more coffee too. Plagiarism, yeah, but that's only when you do it without permission. That's plagiarism. When you have or you no when you do it without permission but you claim it's your own, that's plagiarism. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Baby Fist. Why was I not even looking at the chat? He was putting it out for us. Plagiarism. Thank you. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Hang on a minute. Hang on. I just got somebody in the chat room that said that they can only hear me and not you guys, so I need to fix that. Hang on. That's okay. I got this. Whoop whoop. I got this. Audio. Do, 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 do. No, it's not that. I needed to go and add. All right, somebody give me a check. You guys.
Check.
There we go.
Check.
That should be everybody now.
But I could hear you on the stream. Hello, can you hear me? We're streaming,
Yeah?
but I can't. I can hear you on your screen.
We gave a picture and a thumbs up.
Maybe you have
Okay, now I hear myself in the
Yeah.
background.
maybe you have to put the slider or what do you call it? Uncheck the microphone or not the microphone, desktop audio or whatever
The
switch you
volume.
get.
Yeah, I had to go and put the. I had to add the audio because. Oh, and it's the best way to explain it is I was already on Zoom, so when I opened my OBS, I had not set up this Zoom.
Yeah. I have that same problem.
Yeah.
So what I do is I just grab the desktop audio
Yep.
and or whatever, you know.
I added the. I went into settings and enabled the next desktop down, so that we are on the next desktop down. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, well that's because if you do layers, it makes
Desktop.
sense too.
Yeah.
In multiple desktops. So
Well,
like you
yeah.
scroll down, you're at a new desktop.
Yep. Exactly.
I swipe
Exactly.
to go. This is my different desktop. This is my different desktop, like that.
Okay,
I
so
did it.
Uncle Bone says 5-5 now on hearing everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, Uncle Bones, we're
All
over.
right. I know that
And
I
the people
interrupted
figured
Jim's
it out.
show. James'
I'm gonna
show.
put.
No, you didn't interrupt.
I will put this in my live stream over here. The live stream moved here. And I put
Jim
the.
and I usually do about an hour, so you weren't an interruption at all. You were just a segue.
Oh, cool.
There's only 4 people left in my live stream.
I'm going to get a cup of coffee so you guys chat, and hopefully I need to take my headphones out to do this.
Did we not send Babyfist a link?
Oh, hang on. Well, no, you would have to do it because we're on your Zoom.
I can do that.
It's in the group chat.
There you go.
But he's probably kicked off Twitter by now.
Babyfist is really good with talking about Q drops, man. I listened to him about a week or two ago, and he went through some of the stuff and explained it really well. So if you guys want to ask him questions about that stuff, man, I'd recommend it. I'm not sure. I'm putting him on the spot right now, but he said before.
Hey, Sherry. All right,
Hey.
I'm going to mute my microphone to get up and make me some coffee so I can put the speaker on, I think I can do that. So I can still hear what you guys are doing.
All right.
Okay, all right. I'm
She's off the air.
So he should jump on.
Yeah.
Come in here.
Well, I think she might have trouble right now. She's off getting coffee because she's got to link him in.
Oh, gotcha.
So right
I
now
thought he
there's
could
nobody
just
here.
jump
It's
in the Zoom.
authorized.
I thought he could just jump in the Zoom. And
Well, maybe, but she's got to approve him being here. It's like a little screen that comes on that says like, you know, accept the call or whatever. I don't know how that works because I've never been on that side of things. I'm thankful for the producers who helped me, like Jim and like Ninja. You know, these are people who spend a little more time currently on tech. See, I used to know in the old days how to do a podcast and radio and all that stuff, and it was a little different than it is now. You know, the different venues. I'd have to go back and rethink.
Like the reflector. Sign into the reflector.
The reflector. That sounds scary.
Well, that's like about 20 years ago when you wanted the podcast.
Oh, really? Well, no, I wasn't on that. No, I wasn't 20. I was 15, something like that. Almost 15.
Has anybody used this Red Army 7.62 before?
What?
I heard 7.62 is a caliber.
For my, I want to try it in my SKS. I
What
mean,
is
it's I've got a Russian SKS, so maybe the Red Army ammo would be good in it.
Or you may be sending back, you know, important memes to the enemy.
Well, I just got Why would they spam me in Sacramento from the Ammo Depot in Rancho Cordova?
Because they think you're part of the revolution.
What?
It's like I got
Hey,
like actual like this was in the mail.
Buy your
and,
gun
and
today.
you're on it?
I'm on
Are
the
you?
mailing list.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
They need to arm their troops.
I
Well,
thought
I'm
that
all
was an
Running
ad.
from our house with
armed.
Russian rifles.
I will tell you, I'm all about being armed. I want to be armed.
I have two.
They have a nice S&W 357 revolver. They're nickel plated, looks nice. I think I might go down and get that. I wanted to have like two revolvers and be like a desperado, you know, like
In Iraq, man, in 2003, there was an officer walking around with two holster pistols.
Well, why not? You'd have to be armed anyway, so you know.
But
you
he
know
had
these
two of
guys.
them. He had
These
two.
guys are special. Those are the kind of officers that end up becoming colonels and generals and stuff. Orlando. It's like MacArthur. Yeah, you know Douglas MacArthur.
Yeah.
In World War One, everyone's in uniform, but he bought a black sweater with a big A on the front. A for Army, you know. And
Oh.
he spent. What did he wear? He made his own uniform. It's like, what he was a super flamboyant man.
Oh.
Amazing.
What was his name again?
Douglas MacArthur. He ended up being a general.
General
You may have
MacArthur.
heard of him.
General
Signed
Douglas.
he signed the surrender document with Hirohito on the decks of the Missouri, and became the ruler of Japan for a year.
He looks like
And
Popeye.
then
in
he
some of these
defeated
pictures.
the Koreans all the way back to the Yalu River, and Truman said, "Don't cross the river," and then he didn't, and they got fired over that, I guess. And then the Chinese boiled over the million guys and drove everyone all the way down to Busan. That's the bottom of the Korean peninsula. So he was a special SOB. Let me tell you.
He's got the Popeye going on for sure.
Winner. Um, and people don't realize that he was practically a Filipino. I do. I have a lot of respect for MacArthur. His first duty assignment was Bataan in the Philippines. He was a surveyor. He surveyed it, and then he ended up retiring in the Philippines and owned the Manila Hotel, and is good buddy of the president of the Commonwealth, because Philippines was part of America then, but they had a president. His Manuel Quezon was his best friend, and he called him out of retirement to help defend against the Japanese. That's everyone knows the rest of the story.
They became Popeye.
He became Popeye.
I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.
Toot, toot. Anyway, if you want to fart in the Philippines, you ang toot.
Okay.
Perfect. You got it right.
Oh.
Anyway, tell me about a famous Marine general. There must be some.
Famous Marine general is Smedley Butler.
Oh God, yeah, it's super famous. You are right.
Yeah.
Wrote the book.
Yeah, the
He
book.
wrote
You could.
the book.
It's online too on YouTube. The book is
It's-
on YouTube. It's somebody. What do you call it? Somebody read it, and you could listen to it. So,
Somebody actually read it.
yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
what's the name of it? How the U.S. fights corrupt wars in South America or something like that.
Let me look it up. It has
Yeah,
to do with
but
it has to do with corporations.
it's about all of the banana republics, you know.
I remember it. Listen, yeah. I'm gonna look it up and I'm gonna post.
Well,
Post
in a
it.
sense, the military-industrial complex is like a combination of corporations that work towards common war goals. You know, making money off of war.
I bet you they don't like President Donald Trump much.
He's not doing their war thing,
He
not the way
seems
they
to
do
have
it.
reduced that substantially.
And right now, we could be using these high-tech weapons on the streets of Portland. You know, I would love to see them bring out, you know, the
I
shark.
want that microwave unit. I want to like. Sorry, you were
Watch them
saying.
go.
Yeah, I want that microwave where they like just cook like the top of their skin a little bit.
It just makes them uncomfortable, and I've
This
seen it.
reminds me of Home Alone. He's trying to create his little booby traps.
He's 40 years old.
Yeah, he's older now.
The Home Alone kid is 40
Oh,
years old.
Macaulay Culkin. Yeah.
Macaulay Culkin.
Oh man.
Remember when he was in Uncle Buck? That was the first time I think.
Follow him on Twitter, and he posted the post. You want to feel old? I'm 40 today.
Have you ever seen that show he does with the rabbit ears, the bunny ears show, or whatever that he does? It's kind of odd.
Yeah, that is.
He has a podcast, and it's just very strange.
What does that mean? What does he do? Why is he doing that?
I never could figure that out exactly, because it was during a time when he was kind of in the news for being like associated with Voodoo Donuts and all that stuff, and all of a sudden he's doing some weird thing with the bunny ears, and it really felt weird during that period.
When did he start doing that?
Around the time that they were accusing him of being involved with Voodoo Donuts, because he had some pictures taken there or whatever, or talked about it, and you know the whole Voodoo, you know the whole Voodoo Donuts thing here in Portland, right? And Dante's Underground and all the tunnels and all that crap, right? You know,
I
all
have a thread on that I was looking into.
Couldn't he maybe be being trolled? It's like people, they love to hate him, and I think he's probably an okay guy. But it's like ABC News making fun of me this week. It's like, so what I do, I upped the piggery to the Twitter after they like made fun of my piggery. As I put some nice clean pigs on there so they could see that it was like a decent sanitary pig.
Ultimately, Jim, I see these kids, because they were Hollywood kids, as having been wage slaves and therefore victims. They were wage slaves at an early age. They were contract slaves. They were signed contracts. They then had to be at certain places to do certain things. The kids should be able to be kids and have fun and imaginative and be here and play ball. And, you know, the only place they should have to be is maybe school and, you know, that type of thing when they're young. But here's a kid who's being put on a set of a movie or on a TV show. They're expected to be there on time. They're expected to do certain things. They can't do certain things, because if they do, they could void their contract. So, like, you think any of the Brady kids were allowed to have the freedom to be really true kids? No, because at that age, they were expected to live up to what the Brady image, which was in their contract.
They were psycho killers, right?
Well, a lot of them went, you know, you'll see a lot of young actors who rebel later when they realize their wage. So look what happened with Britney Spears. I mean, she had a real rebellion, or even Prince, when he's carved on his face slave, when he realized he was a slave to this contract slavery. And it just is rife in Hollywood and in what they call the industry. And it's cruel to kids. And so I look at a lot of the kids as victims, and have a heart to think past sometimes their problems. Even Michael Jackson, you know, I look past a lot of some of the things with him, because I think he too was a victim. He was taken on stage and made a star before he was even 12 years old. So it's just sad to see these kids having to live up to professional
He was like 5 or 6 years old.
responsibility. Well, they played him younger than he was. He was saying they were saying he was like 9 when he was 11. So he really didn't get on the scene until he was like 11, and that's when most of us saw him. But they were saying, and all of his press said they were 9. He was 9. So it was sales marketing of a false premise to sell him as a greater talent was the idea. You know, that's what they do in Hollywood. It's all image. It's all, you know, glitz and glamour and glory. And most of it, it's funny now watching like these award shows and watching them try to be funny or whatever without an audience, seeing what these people are going through now is almost hysterical since they can't be around anyone apparently. You know, gotta have that. But yeah, I feel sorry for the kids, you know. So Macaulay Culkin, you know, I have a heart for him. I hope he's not involved in anything evil or bad. I have seen him like with the upside down 5-pointed star thing, the Luciferian symbols and things like that. He kind
I
of
think he might be trolling
maybe. I would like to think
because
so.
they harass him so badly.
I would
Is
like to think
what I'm
so.
thinking. And I think he, in his 20s, he did some stupid stuff,
Didn't we all?
but
I did some
so
stupid
did
stuff
I.
in
You
my
know.
40s. What are we looking at? Hey, it's the squirrel.
Guys, I am sorry. Hang on a second. I had to unplug. I didn't
That's
mean to
okay. I love your
squeal.
squirrel.
That's an amazing squirrel, Kate.
I'm trying to hold everything and then be able to put you in my ear. Give me a second here. All right.
I'm just
So
enjoying the
relax.
squirrel.
Take it easy. You know, we can.
Okay. This is Lucky.
Lucky. Hi, Lucky.
Lucky.
Hi, Lucky. Oh, good Lucky. Hi, Lucky. Oh.
He's going to bury what nut I gave him a while ago.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, you got a bucket for him to bury it in.
Yeah. So I figured while he's awake, because he was awake and it's time for a snack.
Oh.
So there you go.
Oh. I love squirrels.
That's my buddy. All right. I'm
well,
sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
That's okay. Yes, squirrel interruption is squirrel. You know,
Okay.
we all love that.
Things are starting to pick up, I think, guys. Breaking right now. Feds say 2 men allegedly plotted terror attacks on U.S. targets, including Trump Tower and New York Stock Exchange, claiming the destruction would be Netflix worthy. So this is just coming from one of those breaking news Twitter accounts. So it's still kind of
Yippee.
unconfirmed. It's just hearsay. But usually when they say stuff like that, it kind of is what it is. So just be on the lookout.
If you see something, say something.
So Smedley Butler never made it to World War II. That's good. I mean, bad, but I mean, he passed away, but still.
Well, he did have a. Did you hear? I could post another one where he talks to. I think he talked to Congress, and in regards to a plot to over. It says plot to overthrow FDR.
He didn't try to overthrow FDR. I doubt.
No, it's a documentary here, and in the documentary, at about 20 minutes, he talks about, you know, they have him in there. So I could post this one too here.
I should point
Well,
out.
now we're on YouTube, so don't be posting anything that might be like less than 100 years old if it's.
Yeah, don't get me shut down now. I got a song.
We'll get Fun Friday in the same situation, and you have 8 people at Fun Friday now. If you 8 people at Fun Friday on YouTube, we'll share the link. Then we'll have 16 people at Fun and Wacky Friday.
Yes, please do
Norma,
that. And you guys,
Blue Line,
I
you got
am
all the
my blood sugar
and I
sort
believe
of dropped, so I'm going to be eating. So I hope you're. I'm not being rude, but I have to eat something, or you'll see me go.
yeah, it's okay.
No, just
I'm gonna address Norma Wong's question here. I agree with her that Michael Jackson was a good person, and whereas he may have been a victim and all that, I don't think he was guilty of child abuse. And they're always making him out to be guilty of child abuse, because if he was, they would have thrown the book at him, because that would have been even more drama
Yeah.
for the news. I don't think he was guilty of that, although people were always saying that and accusing him and giving him sneers. I think that he was mentally a young man in his mind. He never really grew up.
He was a Peter Pan. He always tried to look like Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Huge on Peter Pan, and really,
But I
realize
don't
he
think he
named
was
his
a
ranch
child molester. I
Neverland.
think
Come
if
on.
anything, he may have been like asexual, where he wasn't even into that kind of stuff at all.
Well,
he had girlfriends. You just
yeah.
didn't hear about them.
He had a wife too.
Well,
And
that was Presley's daughter.
Yeah, Priscilla.
Yeah.
she was just in the news for she broke away from the Scientologist church. I just saw that on the. I bought the Inquirer to read it.
Hmm.
Well, I'm sure that was true then.
Well, actually, I was reading through the Inquirer, because people are always saying, well, the Inquirer never really gets sued for libel. And
Yeah.
I realized, these stories are all outrageous, but I've seen them on Twitter for 2 weeks. These are actually things that actually happened.
Well, see, because it's really outrageous.
Men in Black used to get the Inquirer and stuff like that to get the truth.
But don't try World News. What is it? Weekly.
I'm
World
not reading the Sacramento Bee, guys. It's like not my newspaper.
Weekly World News. That's where Bigfoot and an alien are secretly Clinton's parents.
That's the one that I'd like to read, honestly, but they didn't have it.
It's like The Onion, only they're trying to be honest in an untruthful way. Usually aliens involved, or Bat Boy. Remember Bat Boy? There you go.
No.
You don't remember Bat Boy? I'll have to send you a picture of Bat Boy. He was Bat Baby, I think, at first, but they called him Bat Boy. On Weekly World News cover, you can look it up. He's gorgeous.
Missed it. I missed it. And Blue Eyes is agreeing with me on the Michael Jackson, by the way. It's not just me that's feeling that.
No, I've never
What
felt.
Well, before all that stuff happened, he came out in several different public places and mentioned the fact that they were after him.
Well, he mentioned Sony and was his name Matola, the agent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he publicly, there's actually, you can go watch the video where he just names them. And he also did a song where he even calls attention to it. A couple of the lines in it were a little bit, I don't know if we can say them here. The lines were sue me, and then a J word that rhymes with sue me. And that was in the song. And he was really talking about Matola and that, which I think we're going to find, those of us who follow Q are going to follow this back to Israel eventually. You watch. You watch.
They also, there's a video, and in the video as you're watching it, there were actual pedo, is how I'm going to say it, signs. He was telling people what these people are without coming out and saying it. So there is a video that's floating around out there that you can see, and there were kids in the video, there were adults in the video, and different scenes kind of thing.
Are you talking Black or White? You remember, was it Black or White? Because that one also had Collie McCoken in it.
No.
And it was filled with that whole Dangerous album. You ever look at the Dangerous album cover? Oh my goodness. Talk about a symbolic bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was more symbolic, I think, than the Sgt. Pepper album cover, which is also kind of weird. If you ever go back and look at Sgt. Pepper, you know what the first face is up there in the top right? Is a certain Aleister Crowley is on the cover of the Sgt. Pepper album. Mm-hmm. He's on there. He's the bald dude up in the corner. So it's kind of interesting when we go back and we study history of the music industry and the people involved and the messages they're trying to give out, because it's all about messaging. Mm-hmm. Everything has been about messaging. Everything is communication. And that's why this kind of what we do here is so important, because we can communicate freely, well, somewhat freely. We can talk openly. We're sharing our hearts and our minds, and yeah, we might be wrong sometimes, but we're putting it out there, and people can take it and they can look at it, and we help people to analyze in their own heads by being a little group. Because right now, during the age of social distancing, this is about as close as most of us can get, sadly.
Yeah, they've come up with a new TV show. If it hasn't started, it's supposed to start. I won't be watching it, but it's all based on Zoom or messaging, and then people popping in and popping out when, well, no, I couldn't hear you, but they're talking. It's just, it's a big. How do you explain it? It's
You
like a big
know,
tattletale kind of thing.
everything was done on Zoom for the last year on TV, it seems like, because they all don't want to like get close to each other because
Mm-hmm.
they're the probably.
I wish I'd have bought Zoom stock about a year ago, though, because boy, that I bet that stock's worth some money now. Anybody check on Zoom stock? I'd like to know if it's
Are they public?
I don't think they're
are
public.
they?
I don't think so.
Somebody's making some
Isn't it
bucks
China?
I don't think anybody's making any money off of it. That's
on
one of the
Zoom.
most expensive sites on earth to run.
Yeah, but the school districts are using it.
They're paid for by a government. There's no corporation on earth that could be paying for
So
Zoom.
who's teaching our kids? Because Zoom is where our kids are getting educated. So where?
No,
Who's,
No, not all of them.
Zoom is where everyone's being spied on by.
Mm-hmm.
It's not TikTok.
Mm.
And Zoom is in different flavors as well. They have other companies built on the Zoom platform. And let me tell you, they're using more than YouTube probably and Amazon for services. They are using so much bandwidth. They're it's unbelievable.
Oh,
And to
maybe
pay
Chris just posted current Zoom price, $497.82. So I guess
Wow.
that they are.
They are okay.
Wow.
what were they though prior? Like prior to the COVID thing, what were they at? Because I'm suspecting COVID.
$67.
I never heard of it.
At the start of 2020, it was $67.
Yeah,
And
I
what is
never.
it now?
It's
So it went like
$497.82.
Yeah. See, I wish I would have put some money into it back in the beginning.
That's almost 10 times bigger.
That would have been a great investment. But that's because, like, the school districts are all using it now. My son is educated now via Zoom.
Isn't Zoom owned by China?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But there's a lot of
That's what
things in
I'm
America
what I'm
that are
saying.
owned by.
China.
Yeah.
China. Yeah.
Let's say
China.
vagina.
No, China.
Because we're
Not
on
the
YouTube. I mean, if the funny people can do their vagina monologues, I should be able to say vagina.
You should. You should.
I hear you.
Until
Some of the stuff.
run out of bandwidth.
Some of the stuff on YouTube has been up there for a while. People are shocked. Like every once in a while, I'll pull out a video and go, "Hey, look at this!" And there's one that I occasionally pull out and throw up because it literally is a satanic ritual that was done obviously in a California strip club where people are wearing masks, just like in that movie with Tom Cruise, and it's all very sexual, and there's nudity in it, and it's still there. It's called Love in the Old Days, and the producer of that is a certain actor that James what's his name? Can't think of it right off the top. He was in a lot of movies, like he was in Pineapple Express. James Franco produced it, along with, and one of the stars of it, the guy in it that you see the most in this video, is a guy who wrote a book called Hollywood Babylon named Kenneth Anger. And Kenneth Anger, if you go back, was a huge occultist. He's got Lucifer tattooed across his chest. And he wrote the book Hollywood Babylon and Hollywood Babylon 2, which some people read a lot in the 70s because it was kind of a hip thing back then to read all these.
That Tropical Thunder is a disturbing movie. It's supposed to be a comedy, but I'm just like cringing my way through that.
I haven't seen it.
Some of it is pretty cringy, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean, you people?
Yeah, I like those. I like those. A white guy. No. I'm sorry. Where's he? I don't know. I can't even explain it.
I'm the dude trying to play a dude disguised as another dude.
Yeah. It's like, hey, man, that's awesome right there. That's some funny stuff.
All right. Did I miss you guys getting baby-faced in here to be able to do some Q drops?
Yeah, please invite him.
Well,
Here, let me send him the. Abby just showed up. We have Blue Eyes here.
yes.
Hi, Abby.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, welcome.
Hey, Abby.
I'll send it to Baby.
What's up?
Whoop, whoop.
I'm gonna see if I get my camera on here in a minute. I need to go upstairs. My phone is wow, guys. I think I need a new phone. Let's just put it that way.
Wow.
Problems.
I hear you.
Technology. It helps you and it confuses you all at once.
There, I sent Baby Fist the link in his Twitter.
Cool.
If he's
Thank you for tolerating me eating in front of you guys, but I had to get something in me, or I was, what was it? I don't know.
Be yourself.
Had not.
Be you.
You'll turn into the ghost and you'll fall.
I haven't eaten today.
Yeah, you don't want me to fall on my face.
Right?
There's nobody here to slap me in the face and go, get up!
You don't
I
be
will
really
probably
worried when you saw
be
you
on
fall.
Revolution Radio tonight too. So, one heck of a long day.
Well,
Thank you.
our show will end earlier because I'm on here with you, so that way you can take a little cat nap if you need to.
Did you read Babyfist's comment? He said, Oracle and Walmart have big investments in facial recognition.
Yes, that's why. Sorry, Nick. Sorry. That's why it was opened up to them to be able to go ahead and purchase TikTok.
Why are they putting so much money in that?
Why?
Facial recognition,
Yeah,
just stuff like
facial
that.
recognition,
AI.
continuing the Big Brother approach. Let's put it that way instead of saying the other word. No, don't say it. Don't say it. Remember, we're on YouTube. You got to be careful. Just saying.
Technocracy.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it like safe? Like if somebody's like trying to steal something, they could find them easily, or?
Well, they can scan a crowd. I've seen their hardware. I've seen their tech, their software. Their China has a different approach. I'm sure the AI could scan a crowd in like a very short time and literally get like identification from them. It just depends of like the clarity, because it's still it's still a working project. It's not the best thing
Well,
yet.
Ninja, did you? It was pre-coronavirus. It was in Hong Kong when they were, thousands and thousands of them were protesting. There was a video of a few really tech-savvy people that made these. They were like these these wraps you put around their head, and then they had this thing that projected a false face over your face. It was kind of like what is that called? Holographic.
Yes.
It was
right.
impressive.
Yeah, you can
Right,
do that.
and that way it couldn't register who it was.
And you can do another thing. There's like black and white blotches, or like a sort of mosaic mask you can wear, or you can do There's eyeglasses I seen this guy wearing, or he's developing some sort of a sunglasses that has that weird glitch-looking mesh. What do you call it? I don't know what you call it. It's like a
Distortion.
yeah, it's a sort of distortion, yeah, to the AI, and it basically messes with the AI, and it can't really scan you. There's different ways to go about that. I think there's clothing you can buy as well. You can buy clothing. There's hoodies. I think that might be the fashion of the future because people are going to be, oh, I don't want to be, scanned and looked at, and so that's like kind of where we're headed.
Well, that's when they'll walk up to you and be like, "Sir, we're gonna have to have you step over here."
Ooh,
Yeah.
what's up, baby fist?
There's just gonna be TSA everywhere, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Joe Biden's everywhere. Just man, let me search you, buddy.
Joe Biden.
Spritting
Oh
on
my
the
God.
wall.
Let me sniff
Lord,
it.
Hey.
help us.
Hey, you know the thing. Every time. Come on, man. Hey, you're like, you're walking and you're like walking by and you see him like watching you. He goes, "Come on, man. Come on, man."
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
I need a
You're
come
not
on
black.
shirt. Somebody make a come on man shirt. I need that. There probably is one, I guess. Anybody got it? I'll have to talk to Trump like teeth.
Make a facial distortion mask for the AI that has Joe Biden face that says, "Come on, man."
Or
Yeah.
make a shirt that does that.
Oh my gosh, no.
That would be funny. I like
Was
that
Baby
idea.
Fist in here?
Yes.
Sure enough.
Baby face.
Ah, sweet. So
Baby
you
face.
got the technology. You were gonna go through the Q post? Is that what you're gonna do?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
Do it.
Am I?
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess
We
so.
take a vote. Aye.
Yeah, that would be great. I would love that. I vote.
Democracy.
My hands up.
There you go. Ninja, is your hand up too?
I'm
Well, it
eating.
looks like you guys decided.
Yeah.
Answer for I'm eating, but yes, baby face, go for it.
How am I supposed to post while I'm reading them all?
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
Well, where'd you guys leave off? Which one? 4762?
Go back to where it's comfortable and read what you want to read.
Okay. I imagine screen share probably helps the folks at
I
home.
think we left off at 4506. We way backtracked. What was that number we backtracked to?
That's like 200 posts ago.
Yeah, that's where the guy in the back of the Osprey is
Right.
reposting.
There was two. Yes, there was two.
Oh, okay. 4765.
With that.
The guy in the back of the Osprey with
Yeah,
the
they-
video of Last of the Mohicans. That's a very common song that people will listen to before they drop, airdrop, or parachute in, or get ready to do an actual operation. It's a very common song that's used. Q
Float your
has
boat.
specifically
know.
stated that after the first time he posted it, for hey, anyone who doesn't know, this is what it's used for typically. I don't know if we have any airmen here. I don't know what Orlando did when he served.
Marine.
Junior Birdman.
So yeah, I think that's very typically when he shares a post like that or something similar, Q is usually referring to that there's ongoing operations or ongoing activity with either teams related to Q team or something similar. So I think we'll be expecting not necessarily the Moab, the mother of all bombs that people are expecting, but I think we should be seeing some things coming. It's real disappointing that the news didn't want to pick up on the Hunter Biden information. That was a pretty big report released by who? Chuck Grassley and
Yep.
a couple other senators. And
Yes, I agree.
zero traction at all. You know, like in our little world that we're in, yeah, we know all about it. We all read the documents. We went over the text messages that were released within that same report. But majority of people I talk to that aren't in the Q movement have no clue
Yeah,
about
the
it.
the public eye.
Yeah, and so the real question is, how do we get it out there? Who do we have to press? Who do we like? I understand our people are putting out the information, but until there's enough pressure on the mainstream media to
Until
actually
my
cover it.
mother stops wearing a mask alone in her backyard.
Why?
How do I get like her people to not be doing that?
I don't
Pray
know.
for
Whatever
them.
you just said has got me being
Thought
slowed
provoking.
down.
You've got to be thought provoking, you know, just like the way Q is Socratic questioning is what is it called? Uh,
Socratic
Socratic
method.
method.
Socratic method. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I used that often when I was younger. I just didn't know what it was called. But yeah, it works if you do it really well. It's a good approach to a conversation without being so harsh or
Confrontational. You don't want to be
yeah.
confrontational or show
If
that you believe opposite. You don't oppositional. Be more like, well, let's think about this and how about that and what about this and put the questions out there so that they have to go search for the answers. You're just asking questions. And that's an
Which
honest
one of
way of
you
learning.
guys? Which one of you guys was talking about who's really financing stuff? You think that George Soros is financing, but who's giving George Soros the money to do it?
The
And
the
then it
P
comes.
people.
So what I've learned about this is that George Soros does a lot of fundraising. That way he could avoid liability in it. And by group fundraising, there's no one person accountable. Like if we just use the most recent example of the lady who unloaded the supplies out of the U-Haul. I think her
correct,
name was Sally
Holly
something,
or
Holly
wait,
something. Yeah, it's
let me
either
pull it up.
Please let us know her name if you know it.
yeah, Ninja will pull it up in a second. But she is a employee of George Soros who crowdfunded this money to support getting supplies for the peaceful protest that were happening on the day when they were protesting for Breonna Taylor, which is one of the people I actually care about when it comes to this, because like all
Innocent.
those all those same actors were attacking Rand Paul, and he's the only person. He's the one who introduced the Breonna Taylor Act to end no knock raids. Like
Right.
the people who are fighting this have no idea what's actually going on. Like they're attacking the wrong people. Rand Paul is one of their biggest supporters. He's the one
They're
fighting for
attacking the
them.
people that, and I thought it comes down to there's a lot of taxpayer money involved in this as well. For example, my mother with the mask in the backyard. It's like PBS is telling her to do that. The only news she watches is NPR and PBS and stuff.
Well, if you
That's all
listen to
she
NPR
watches,
all
and
day, you'd be
that's.
terrified.
I know it's funded by some large corporations, but the reality is, the U.S. government puts a lot of grants into that.
Yeah.
There's
To
foundations. And
And
realize they're
viewers like us.
foundations.
and
Foundations is the word.
like their news is coming direct from the propaganda machine. Media Matters, and
Yes.
Media Matters, the Brock guy that.
Well, they're all
And
associated with
I
open
was
society.
complaining about Brock back in 2016. I put that video online for you guys on the Tiger Network because I think it got deleted from YouTube as well. But in 2016, Brock was like was still involved in this stuff. And he's Media Matters, and Media Matters is paid by George Soros. And NPR is using their news, and NPR is paid for by American taxpayers mostly. So who's funding propaganda machine that's tearing down my country. My country.
We
Well,
are,
geez,
sadly.
but
Taxpayer dollars.
yeah, it's like, whoa,
I do
this is
have a quick. I want to go and ask everybody who's in here now, and including in chat. Has anybody seen the breakdown that Glenn Beck and his associate put down in regards to the details that happened with Miss Taylor? The true facts, not what the mainstream media is pushing. Has anybody seen that?
Yeah, I watched Glenn Beck's
I
coverage
have
of
a
it.
copy of it.
Okay. Because as I'm listening, I'm like, well, that makes sense. I mean, they
They got shot
he
at.
had he had the right to because he was there. He had the right to go and have his gun. He was scared. He didn't know, you know. So I get that. I get that part of it. I also get the part that the police had the right to shoot back.
Yeah.
You know, but
Where the real problem lies is that the court should not be allowed to issue no-knock raids. It's against our Constitution.
right.
You can't station soldiers in my house, and that's what you're doing by offering a no-knock raid. It's against our Bill of Rights. It's the first 10, and by telling
the
them
first
that
10
they
aren't changeable, I thought.
they aren't,
Yeah.
and they think they are, and that's the issue. And no-knock raids are essentially putting individuals or armed forces in your home. Oh, looking great.
Look at you, girl.
She had to fix her hair before she put it on.
You've got a new hairdo. You got a new
She's
hairdo
muted.
there.
You're muted, darling. You're muted.
Unmute yourself. There
Okay,
we
can
go.
you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
We can
There
hear you
you
now.
go.
Yay.
You're here.
New hairdo looks great.
And then
Oh yeah. Every now and then I just
We're
get
interrupting
hair.
George. George was on
Go
top
ahead,
of
George.
you.
Finish
You
that
popped
up.
in right at the inconvenient time. George was
the no-knock raids are unconstitutional just by the fact that you can't have officers of any kind in uniform stationed in your house. And by giving them permission to enter your house in that way is unconstitutional, just period. Now, I believe in warrants. If you have a warrant to come to my house, that's all you got to do.
Absolutely. But a lot of people don't even know that's what happened because that's not the agenda that they're pushing.
talked about it.
Here, hold on. I think it's 7, but I'm gonna pull it up just to be 100% sure. I'm clicking the wrong buttons. I think it's 7 that says they can't.
You guys know that we are in the situation where Google could change the Bill of Rights just because I'm Googling the Bill of Rights right now. They could just.
I have a hard copy on my wall.
I got a hard copy too.
I do too, but it's
Yep.
I'm not a
text graphics, Bill of Rights. There we go.
Save everything offline. Just putting it out there.
Yeah. You see this? Just CD.
Yep.
CD. You better come in my house and get them.
Nice.
If you want them.
I just moved here, all over the place. I'm gonna trust this link, whitehouse.gov, Constitution. All right, it's the Third Amendment. Prohibits the government from quartering troops in private homes, a major grievance during the American Revolution. But the Fourth Amendment is what I was thinking. It protects citizens from unreasonable search and seizure, and the government may not conduct any searches without a warrant, and such warrants must be issued by a judge and based on probable cause. So you're saying the no-knock warrant is the Third Amendment,
Yeah,
and
because they had the
Fourth
right.
Amendment makes it unreasonable.
Yeah. And by deciding that they were gonna do that, it's just very unlawful because she wasn't the person they were after. Number one, they were after her ex-boyfriend, and not her current boyfriend, who shot back at the cops 5 times when they busted down your door. If cops bust down my door, they're gonna get shot more than 5 times, I promise.
Yeah.
And it's not like a threat, it's my right to feel safe in my home. And like anyone who busts down my door.
Colorado, does it have this Colorado castle doctrine?
No, but I'm from Florida.
Now, do the police have the right to shoot back?
Yeah, they do.
I caught that, George.
I identify as a Floridian. You know, it's 2020. You get to pick what you want.
Yeah.
I stand my ground. I castle doctrine. I
Virginia, that, you know, of all the places I've lived, I've been all over America, and it's just an inconvenient place to live right now. But I loved living in West Virginia.
Yeah, it's beautiful there too. You get all 4 seasons. You get a coast, or close enough to the coast.
It's not close enough to anywhere. It's kind of inconvenient, and they don't have a lot of highways there, and everything is like twisty and turny, and there's no flat ground. It's like, it's kind of fun to live there. I love living in West Virginia, but and they're so educated. That West Virginia hillbillies and what have you are smart. I was an Army recruiter there, and I remember the test scores on those people were way higher than they were when I went there from California to West Virginia. In California, they were so much lower, and in West Virginia, they're just like, oh, they're like, whoa, it's Genius Mountain. I love it. They're all so smart.
They just pretend to not be as smart as you think they are.
Yeah, don't judge them by the way they speak.
No.
Yeah, they're smart people. It's like,
Can I ask you something?
They're stupid, but we would have to test a lot more Californians to get people to pass the test.
And you see how red
perhaps,
California's going?
Yes, I have noticed that quite a bit.
Yeah. Is Pelosi on the ballot?
You know what I'm talking about, Orlando, with test scores and what have you?
I don't know, George. I don't know. But I know that she was on the other day. It was yesterday. She was on answering really softball questions from the mainstream media. Big time softball questions.
Q was?
No, Pelosi was. And it's like, Pelosi. I'm sitting there going, why are they asking her such softball questions? What's going on here?
Drunk.
Well, that's an always kind of event, but she definitely, you could tell that they were scripted questions. They're getting ready to do something in the mainstream media when they start doing those prepped questions.
It's like the guy with the boat in the supermarket parking lot, and he's towing a boat, and it's Saturday afternoon in the supermarket parking lot, and I'm just watching him, and this lady's like, I'm putting her groceries in the back of her trunk, and here comes the boat, and he's going real slow, and he's being careful, and he's looking, and it's a slow motion boat wreck happening in the supermarket parking lot. As I watch screaming at him. She's screaming at him. And he's saying, put your mask on.
Oh my God.
Mask on. And she doesn't have her mask on. And then she's
Karma,
put
man.
your mask on. Going real slow and looking in his mirrors. And she's looking for her mask. Meanwhile, she steps out of the way finally, and his boat crashes into the back of her car because he's like cut the corner too tight. Don't take your boat to the supermarket. And it's a slow motion crash. That's what's happening right now with what's coming up in November. November, we have the election, and then we have the Insurrection Act right after.
Yeah, on the 4th.
And
Reach
we
it.
see it happening, and they are just like, put your mask on, and driving their boat through the supermarket parking lot, right? They don't belong there. She doesn't belong doing what she's doing.
No,
But-
absolutely not. I mean, it's time for her to retire. But one of the questions, this is what I was getting at. One of the questions coming from the mainstream media was, if Trump does not, and I'm paraphrasing in my own words, if Trump decides that he's not going to concede, will you blah 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 and become president? That was from one of the freaking reporters. And I'm sitting there going, are you freaking kidding me right now? And
What did she
asking her this question. What have you guys got up your sleeve? Something's coming up that they're going to try again. She's already talked about her quills. You know,
Yeah, her quiver.
Yeah, her quiver quills. And
Her quiver
Her
is
minions.
I'm like, wow.
ballots out of her quiver. Should be like,
Happy Sunday morning.
Yeah. Oh,
Happy
yeah. The
Sunday morning,
reboot.
everyone.
The reboot
She's-
moment.
She's got some BLM
Morning.
protesters.
Sunday.
Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get it again.
Okay, wait a minute. Ninja said something. Go ahead, Ninja.
Oh, I said she's got some BLM protesters in her quiver.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure. And
It's Antifa.
another thing that I wanted to know from you guys, I've seen in 3 different places where RGB was cremated, but yet they have a coffin on the outside.
Is it gold?
No, it's not gold, but I thought about that.
Only George Floyd.
You know, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The idol. Okay? Biblical. It's biblical. Just saying.
Just saying.
So does anybody else, have they ran across what I'm saying about she was cremated, but yet they've got a coffin lying in state, which is outside?
I heard about it. I heard about it, but only as sort of a sideline rumor thing. And I wish I'd saved the source now because I didn't realize it would even become an issue. But early on, I do remember reading something about her being cremated like the next day.
Okay, when it first came out in the mainstream media, when you looked, it's like the New York Times had it 10 hours before everybody else. And then I read that she was cremated, and of course I didn't catch it because, you know, if you don't catch it on the first try on Twitter, it disappears and goes into no man's land.
Pretty sure
Well,
it's pretty
Changed word.
having a burial and what have you within the first day or so.
Yeah. It reminded me of
Probably
Andy
they
Griffith.
just
We didn't find
displayed
out
the
about
coffin.
Andy Griffith being dead until he was already buried.
I didn't know he was dead.
Oh, yeah. He passed away several years ago.
That's too bad.
I know. Jim, I just
Okay.
had that in my
But-
head.
So they just displayed her coffin there ceremonially as a.
Yeah, but I've never seen one displayed outside. Have you?
Well, that was for COVID, I believe, and they wanted
I
to
have-
have
I-
10,000 plus people
Ah.
against the COVID rules. Although, you know, if you're more important than regular people, you don't have to follow the rules. If
This
you're
is-
Nancy
Oh, yeah, it's
Pelosi,
A
Ruth
pre-made
Bader.
double standard for you.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep, that's true.
But yeah, I worked at a funeral home and they would have the coffin often on display, and they've already been cremated.
That's,
there's just coffin on
okay.
display.
Yeah, the last one that I went to, he was cremated, and they set everything up in this little room. And I went to that. Was it 2 weeks ago now? It was actually his birthday today, and that showed up on Facebook. So I called his wife and checked on her and see how she's doing. But he was a. Oh my goodness! Look who just joined in.
Man.
Hey!
This is real informative.
Woohoo!
J-Red.
Look at you.
This
How's it
is why
going?
I'm in Star Trek uniform today, guys. I was supposed to talk to you.
I'm loving this.
How's it
Alright.
going?
Nice. We got some multi connection.
It's so it is so very nice to see you guys.
Everybody wave.
Oh.
The Brady Bunch.
Hi.
Everybody look around like this.
And it's George in the
The
middle.
Tiger Bunch.
You're the center square.
Oh,
You get
lucky
to be
me.
Paul Lind.
I'm the maid.
Yeah.
Isn't she in the center?
Yeah, we need to get back to those Q drops. I mean, 17 drops.
Okay, we're on the Q drops.
17. Say 17.
17.
There you
Later.
go.
You want me to screen share, or
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
that'd be great.
you want to give me permission, Jim?
Boy.
You have
Yeah,
permission.
it's always
Okay,
that.
you have
Like,
the-
Jim, we need
It's
I will
public.
make
Jim.
big. Okay, it's time to talk to George here. Finish what you were talking. You're big. Everyone else is small.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, if you want to do the Q post, I'll share my screen.
Do it.
Yeah.
I
Good.
need permission.
I have to set it to do that probably. Advanced sharing options. All participants. Okay, you can share screen.
Screen 2.
I find myself laughing at your background.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Amy Coney Barrett as U.S. Supreme Court nominee. Boom.
There we go.
Amy
It's
Comey,
confirmed.
What, Ninja?
It's confirmed. President Trump to pick Amy Coney Barrett as U.S. Supreme Court nominee.
Okay, cool.
So this is where we left off. I won't play the music because that'll end us all. And
Oh,
then
by the
we'll
way,
move-
tomorrow will be the official announcement of the Supreme Court pick at 5 o'clock. So
yeah, I'm pretty excited. Do you think it's going to go through
I
in
hope so.
the Senate?
well,
Yeah,
who
me
knows
neither.
nowadays? Because nowadays, all of a sudden, they'll come up with some weird thing in the House. You know, that they come up with some weird like turn or twist to stop things, and so I don't trust any of this until it happens anymore.
Okay, so this is the article. It links to Fox News, designates the KKK and Antifa as terrorist organizations. 2, D founded financially legally backed organizations. DA set free blockade posts, terrorist designate. DA no proof, individual link to Antifa argument coming. Antifa map began long ago. So what do you guys get out of this? Because I get that we're going to see some bridges connected, to use a 17 term, because bridges connect things. This is a theme that he's used several times, and that we're finally going to see what connects these organizations, and that the DA, I'm assuming the district attorney of wherever, is designating these actual outfits of Antifa as terrorist organizations, or hopefully. I know Trump wanted to, but the only way he could really do it is via the Insurrection Act, and it's a really big deal to use the Insurrection Act right before an election.
Right.
Yeah, they're gonna use that against him because you're gonna try to interfere with the election because you're doing. That's back and forth. It's tit for tat. That's exactly what's going on, and we gotta call it out as it comes. Like these news articles that are putting Jim on blast, putting everyone else on blast. We gotta call out the writers, the journalists, get them sweating, and then while they're sweating, we can push the real news. Because that's what they're doing to us. We gotta do it to them. I see what's going on. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and if you got to remember, Attorney Barr, General Barr, he said that they weren't going to release all those other cases and stuff he was digging into until after the election, so that they can't pin on them, election interference. So they're playing their cards really safely, which is very appreciated. So yeah, we'll just keep on watching. Go ahead.
I think I'm worried at this point. Tucker Carlson, I think, agrees with me, that we're not going to see anything for the Durham report, like, at all.
Really? So
I don't want to be
why is your take on it?
pessimistic. It just if he's really looking into what they said he was looking into originally, which is the Obama Gate mess, that doesn't seem to be what Q or 17 is alluding to. He seems to be alluding to the fact that Durham and the rest of the investigations ongoing seem to have a really keen interest in the Clinton Foundation and the crimes against humanity, the crimes against children, more so than even the Obama Gate. Because to realistically prosecute an ex-sitting president or an ex-sitting vice president is just unprecedented in American
But I think
politics.
that's the domino effect, though, is maybe Q is finding a spot that they do actually have sauce on information. Once that's revealed, you know what I mean, then other investigations might take place, or they'll have more merit, and the public will be more accepting of it.
Yeah,
But I do
just
get what you're
pill
saying.
to swallow.
some of these
Yes.
investigations have already been alluded to that there are other ongoing investigations right now. They're usually referred to as just other ongoing investigations. And that means there's a lot of stuff going on behind all of this that probably are branched off of the Durham
Yeah,
report.
it's a web. It's a web, and if you tug at the right strings, you get the right pull. You know, and that's what they're worried about. Oh, they're gonna, they're gonna tug the string of Comey, or they're gonna tug the string of Peter Strzok, or they're gonna tug the, and then there's connections either way. You know, it's just one of them might have a bigger pull than the other. You know, as far as
And it also,
exposing.
there might be a chance. I mean, I've considered this, that the Durham report is kind of like a squirrel, a lure away from these other things that are going on, so that it gets the attention. And we've been pulled in that direction by Q before. We've been led to feel that something was going to happen on a certain date or something like that, where it was never really stated, or that something was really important, but and it probably was, but we never really saw it. But there were other things that happened because of it. So, sometimes realize the other side reads this stuff. They are aware that this is real. So they're watching very carefully, and so in some ways, Q has to even trick them. So if we fall into being tricked a little bit, it never bothers me so long as it's not something where all of a sudden everybody's off scot-free. I mean, at the end of this, I still expect to see indictment. I'm not going to bank everything on Durham. I'm just going to say I think that's going to be. It may just be a lure. It may just be something to get them focused on, to be in fear of. And then when that relieves itself, which may happen, which would shock all of us, I'm sure, for a moment, but if by saying it, maybe we're prepping ourselves, is that then they'll swing around with these other things. It's like, oh, see, we backed off here, boom,
Look here, not there kind of situation.
Yeah.
But also, a report doesn't automatically equal indictments.
True.
Right.
Keep that
But
in
they did
mind.
say
Like,
there would be indictments. There have been, speaking of indictments coming down, some of which have already happened. We're already seeing some of it. I mean,
a whole bunch of people were recently subpoenaed: Strzok, Comey, Page, Brennan, Clapper. But just because they're subpoenaed doesn't mean they did something wrong. Like, didn't Jim get a subpoena to go talk to Congress? He didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you're wrong.
It becomes what's called a deposition.
Yeah.
And in like a trial, or in like a civil suit, it's common for lots of people to be deposed. But the difference that I found with a deposition, it's not a criminal thing, but if you do anything that is not true in Congress, it's a crime.
Oh, yeah.
and they tell you so. And you can't leave. They tell you
They'll
can't
hold
leave.
you in contempt,
You
and then you'll be jailed.
But anything, it's a crime.
Yeah, and then.
But you weren't there that long, right, Jim? How long you were? They made you go over there, and you had to spend your.
Yeah, they made me go. So
how long were you over there for?
In Washington D.C., I spent a week there, but I was only in the Congress for 4 hours.
Oh, okay.
And they never released the closed door transcript. I tried really hard to find it. Only your public statement.
You didn't record it,
They
Jim?
wouldn't even give me a copy. They let my attorney go in a week later and view the transcript in camera.
Well, wouldn't the
Not
Freedom
just
of Information Act allow you to be able to make a request for it?
No, it's under
well.
seal.
You want to play that game? Please do so. I don't.
I tried to get it.
I'll end
You
up
can't
charging
get
you
it.
$100,000 for it or something.
Thanks, George. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I tried to get it. You can't. Before I interviewed him, I tried to get it. But
Yeah, J Red. By the way, we have J Red and your buddy there. I don't know his
This
name.
is Tim.
My name's Tim.
We're in Vegas.
They
Tim.
have their own show as well. It's called Informative Info.
That's
Yep.
right.
I've never seen it.
Oh,
Yeah.
you have missed
Guys.
it. You have missed it. It's a really great show.
yeah.
I watch it.
Oh, you guys do? Holy cow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hello.
We were saving all the strikes for this week in Vegas. We plan on doing some very provocative shows while we're here in Vegas about Mandalay Bay,
Ooh.
about Area
Tell us
51.
more.
Yeah.
Tell us more. We can come back to the 17 drops. Let's bring them up on screen.
That sounds
Yeah, I'm
interesting.
about
Chat for a little bit.
Oh God, I don't know if you want that.
Yeah, we
I
can.
don't know if you need the strike. Go ahead, Tim. Go ahead.
So I'm from Florida. He's from Texas, but we met up here in Vegas, and
Italy.
right now it's I don't even know what time it is here, but
It's 1:17.
Dun, dun, dun.
So we're staying at the MGM Grand, and we were already talking to the bartender here about the Mandalay Bay shooting. Her husband is a sergeant on the SWAT team here. So she, people, I'm like, oh, isn't it interesting that you don't hear anything about the Las Vegas shooting? And she's like, yeah, that is kind of interesting, and then I kind of dropped those seeds of like, oh, someone was there that night. At the Mandalay Bay on the top 2 floors. And that's what we wanted to do, that early Q post. I forgot which one it is, and QMap shut down, so I can't look it up. But the one that talks about the Las Vegas shooting, and if you weren't following Q from the beginning, then that's an easy one to miss, because people don't talk about those things. But that's what I kind of wanted to do, was like bring it back to those early Q posts, because they were so hard hitting and so just packed with just crazy information. And especially that one, I think it was a Saudi royal owns the top 2 floors of Mandalay Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And Q alluded to that Trump was meeting the Saudi royal there that night, having classified meeting. And that the whole Las Vegas shooting was then a distraction for MS-13 to try to assassinate Trump. I don't have the post in front of me, but I'm pretty sure that's what it all kind of pointed to. So we wanted to go up into the Mandalay Bay and see if we could get to that room where that shooter was. And just, not obviously we're not going to find anything that anyone else hasn't found, but just kind of bring the conversation back to those early Q posts. Because now it's the Q posts is all, now it's all about the presidential race. It's about how the Dems are trying to, just flood the media with lies and propaganda and all that. And it's like, I don't know if I've been following Q from the beginning, and I just feel like, I already know all this. I'm like, get back to those early Q posts where you're telling us stuff that I would have never known, like the Las Vegas shooting. So that's what me and Jared were going to do. He just went to go make a drink.
Wasn't there 2 windows that were busted
So
in
true,
the shooting, in the actual building? There was 2 windows.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I remember keeping up with that as it was happening. It was unfolding back then. I was watching multiple clips. I was watching, I think, Dan Blitzker. What's that damn dude's name? That rich guy, Dan Blitzkereg, or I forget how to say his name. Anyways, he was on the ground trying to get video and trying to look good. And I was getting different angles. I was getting helicopter shots, like people getting. Oh my God, there were so many inside the building itself, in buildings nearby, and helicopter shots. But it's been a while. I'm just wondering, and that's another thing that I've always put on the back burner as well. I was like, nobody wants to touch it, but I know it's a sensitive subject.
And even the people here, like I said, we were talking to the one bartender.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh yeah, one of my friend's brothers was one of the people that got shot in the foot." Yeah. And she was like, "Yeah, the hotel paid for
all the bills and everything."
I'm like, "They didn't pay for that."
And then they got a payout too.
Yeah. So it's kind of the people who were injured were just kind of paid off, and whether they signed NDAs or whatever they did, but you don't hear nothing about that anymore.
Well,
that was
a release of the body cam, but I didn't find anything that really jumped out at me with the one.
And what was really weird too is everybody that was speaking out about it, that was like survivors, they all just ended up being dead eventually in some freak accident, like car accident, shooting, suicide.
But you just figure one of the worst mass shootings in American history, and no one talks about it. Not a single person.
And I was thinking maybe the people that didn't sign the NDA and didn't take the money, those are the people that were actually,
Did you also realize that there was a bus that came in with more people? There was literally a bus that came in, and people exited the bus prior to the shooting happening, as if they were going to set up for this event.
Interesting.
Yeah, that you have to look back at that. Remember that guy that was like standing up in the crowd, flicking off the gunman, and he was like drinking beer or something like that?
There was a lot of people cheering for it too.
Yeah, so prior to that happening, that event, there was a video clip of people literally exiting a bus, and there's like somebody, hey, there's people coming from the bus, and they were like weirded out to see that all of a sudden people show up to an event that's not a nice event,
Another problem with the whole Las Vegas shooting is there's endless cameras in that hotel. But they've only released one total video from within the hotel.
There's probably one in this room right now.
Yeah.
Well, it's really good.
Where he's loading his guns, which wasn't enough guns for the amount of ammo output into the crowd, just based on listening to the number of shots fired. Like you're saying, there's multiple windows broken, which means there might be more than one shooter. And where are all these cameras? You have probably the best security in Vegas at the Mandalay Bay.
Yeah, the security who sweeped the security footage while they were corralling everybody to calm down. Yeah, okay. And what else?
And especially today.
Now, as far as the shooting goes, I can understand that because apparently there's no cameras in the room.
But there's cameras everywhere.
I get that.
But in the society
you
where
watched him walk in and out of the room.
Yeah, exactly.
And they release every other video, of every other shooting going on these days. That the public instantly wants like the body cam footage or the security cam footage of all these shootings. It's like this was the greatest mass shooting in American history, and we haven't seen one video or nothing on it. Not one single security cam. It just doesn't make sense.
Just him going up with the guns and I think, right?
I think it's really awesome that you guys are covering it. Because, like what you guys mentioned, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm just saying. I just was pointing out Q is dropping for anybody who doesn't want to miss it. I just noticed.
What's going on then?
Q is dropping.
Obviously, it's not me.
I don't know. You were quiet there.
Jim's on.
Jim. I don't know, man.
Here I am.
You've been for a while.
Headquarters meeting.
And it's happened before in another stream.
I'm going to see.
I know you scheduled it, Jim. You can't lie to me.
Oh, stop, guys. Stop.
If he was Q,
50 years from now, when it's all released and it comes out that it was really Abby Cook from Alaska.
If he was Q, then he would have queued my channel already, but he's not Q.
Oh man, it's all frozen. I can't even look at the Q drops, you guys. This is crazy.
You guys talk about that, and I'm going to listen. I'm going to go because I'm two liquids in, one liquid's got to go out.
Okay,
yeah, me too.
I have to leave because I got to make a phone call and then get to work. So I love you guys.
Love you.
And we will see you again.
Bye, James.
Nice. Bye, James.
Hey.
Love you guys. Thank you all.
Love
Never.
you. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Bye, James. Always a pleasure. So there have been two.
Thank
Obamagate,
you. Thank you,
Watergate.
Fist.
Obamagate,
bet.
Watergate, a
No
giant ship compared to a skiff. I can't read it. The sun's in my way.
And it's funny. One of the recent posts, it was a couple days ago. They cued CBS 60 Minutes interview, and that organization, the Red Pill Roadshow, I did the first two rallies with them, the one in DC and then the one in Tampa. The one that got cued was they just had it in Jacksonville, but those people, Brian and Alicia. I helped plan those first two Q rallies, and then I was kind of pushed out of it for reasons I won't discuss on the internet. But it was.
Thank you.
But I'm like, man, I did the first two rallies, and then that third rally gets queued. I'm like, you freaking joking me? But it's okay. But those people in it, it's funny. The Q when he posted, or when they posted, I should say, they talked about. Everyone must make a choice, and they talked about enemies, foreign and domestic. And those people, Dustin Nemos and then Brian, who were in it, I have my suspicions about both of them. I don't know anything concrete, but Q says like we've been infiltrated hard, very heavily infiltrated. And if I would pick 5 people in the Q community that I would think were foreign actors, Dustin Nemos would be one of them. I know other people like him, and that's fine, but I know a lot about him because I live right near him. And it's just, I don't know how Q meant that post. Why he said everyone must make a choice, and then recognizing, all enemies, foreign and domestic. I'm like, why would he choose, or why would Q choose those people? And the whole thing behind the rallies, one of the reasons why I was pushed out was because I was about not making money off of it, trying to spread awareness, and they weren't. This last rally they charged for admission, and that was one of our starkest differences, where I'm like, no, that's not what it's about. It's not. I get it, people have to make a living, but not us. We all had jobs. We didn't need the money. That's why it's not why we were doing it, and here they are, charging for this now. And then, CBS just happens to pick it up. I don't know. I'm just very suspicious about it.
Yep.
But that's as far
I'm
as
in agreement with you also.
I don't know anything concrete, so I won't say anything, but very suspicious about what Q meant when they were talking about that post.
And then they tried kicking us out of the fucking, the freaking.
Thank you.
Tampa.
No, they did. They kicked me out of the Tampa rally.
Yeah.
And I'm.
Yeah.
They kicked you out?
I've been down with Q from day one, and I am nothing but, I love this country.
And so I had to go because he was my ride. He actually paid for the ticket for me to get over there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Did you attend the Jacksonville QCon?
No, I wouldn't. I wasn't gonna go make a scene. I was staying out of it.
How adult of you.
That's fine.
We were saving up for Vegas for
Right.
for the week over here.
Yeah.
So just got over here yesterday.
And some of those people, for instance, Gene Ho's publicist, Pavel.
Oh, he's all about the money.
All about the money. Him and Dustin Nemos tried setting up the super PAC where he tried to get a lot of the top, I would say, 25 influencers in the Q community to sign on to this thing that was controlled by lawyers. And I'm like, what are you doing? Why would you try to get all the, Edge of Wonder, Jordan Sather, all these people?
Norma just said something that you might be interested in, and I'm going to leave the middle letter out, but a C and a blank and an A.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
What's his name? Dustin Nemos. I won't tell you exactly where he lives, but let's just say where he lives in Florida, just north of me. I want to say it so bad. I'll just say it. Don't. Okay, I won't.
Don't dox.
It's got very heavily. It's got a lot of mob and CIA connections, and I know this from.
Oh, I know where that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't say it, George. Don't say it.
I won't.
And just like, how did he choose to move from the Northeast to this specific spot in Florida? You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, you know, if they're legitimately trying,
It's either that or it's a coincidence.
yeah. But I mean,
Yeah,
if people are
it's a
legitimately,
coincidence. Remember what Q said.
how many times before a coincidence is mathematically impossible? It's 3, right? Do you guys remember that post where they explain that? After the third coincidence, the possibility of it being a coincidence is so small that we don't have a number to describe it. Wow. So, yeah. But yeah, I don't know what else you're gonna do here.
It doesn't take away from the randomness of randomness. You could have 3 things happen in a row, and even though on average it should have been one way or another way and one way or another way, but it went 3 ways, one ways, and that's not to say it won't go back 3 ways the other ways the next time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
you know, and on average it probably will over time.
But this is all condensed into a very short time period. So it's, you know, like you said, over time, what is maybe over 10 years, you know, the randomness of the randomness, that's, I guess it would take a long time for all those random events to happen, you know, but now we're packing this into a short 3 or 4 year period. And I assess everything a probability of, you know, if it's right or if it's wrong or if it's true or if it's false. And the probability of things are just, to me, it's just way too high to ignore it at this point. You know, like I said, CBS doing an interview on prime time where at a rally where there was only like 50 people, like, why were they even there? You know,
Catherine lady at CBS.
What was that?
There was a queued up the Catherine lady at CBS and follow the pen.
Yeah, I remember
Oh,
her.
Catherine Herridge.
The pink
Got everything. She's the highlighter.
Yeah, the highlighter lady.
Catherine Herridge.
Herridge, yeah.
She's a
who's
great
labeled as a
journalist.
patriot in the QMap.pub.
Yeah, she's a great journalist.
And send me when you're going to be broadcasting your stuff so I can stream it out as well.
We're going to have Jim on tomorrow, hopefully.
Okay,
yeah, I'll be
cool.
Oh, cool.
If we wake up in time this time.
Tomorrow, move on.
We're to bed at like 4 in the morning.
Yeah, literally.
Where are you guys staying at? Well, I mean, you don't
Mandalay.
have
At
to.
MGM.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm Jim
Okay.
Grant.
I stayed
There's
in
like
the
a
pyramid once. That was pretty cool.
Oh, the Luxor? Yeah. That place is. They had the light on last night. I was like, I love that place. You know, the light that.
Yeah.
Here.
Are you guys going to catch a show while you're there?
I want to see David Copperfield. I want to see that deep.
Is Chris still performing, Angel?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I saw an ad out on the strip this morning when we were going to get breakfast for him.
He has a good show. Just saying. The
Yeah.
tickets are like woo, but
Jared got a good show too.
Mine free.
What? Oh, my show. Oh,
Yes. Wow.
Right over.
Anything else that you guys, since we're in Vegas, anything that you guys think that we should investigate or talk about or ask some questions about? There's a
yeah.
Go to the Vegas FBI and ask them if you could interview them about their investigation.
Yeah.
The what? I'm sorry.
Go to the local Vegas FBI and ask them if you could talk to an investigator about the investigation they did.
There you go. What can they say? No. That's
Yeah,
the only thing
right.
they can say is no.
What can they do? Handcuff you, throw a bag over your head, and just make you disappear?
Stop.
I'm just playing.
We are
No, it's really
Yeah,
easier to go
we are
talk to the
domestic terrorists,
FBI. The FBI building out here in Colorado is not too far.
Allegedly.
From me. I've been in there. You just have to give them an ID, sign some paperwork. They give you a badge, and you could go.
I kind of want to talk to maybe the local police here. You know, the LVPD.
The ones that they got taken from.
You know,
Because you know they're gonna be pissed off and disgruntled, and they're gonna be like, "Man, we had this shit taken over, and then they fucking took over. I mean, freaking took over, and what? You know, and they're gonna be very upset."
I gotta water my plants. I'll be back.
Okay.
But Area 51, we're just going out there just to do it, and I don't know.
That
It's
would be
not much that
awesome.
We're gonna clap them alien cheeks.
Yeah, we're gonna bring to the table that people haven't brought to
Hey,
the table already.
Don't cross the.
Yeah, don't go into the zone.
I told him that. He was like, "I'm doing it." I'm like,
If I knew Rudo running across, they
as soon
won't
as you
see
get
me.
close
I'm gonna wear
to
all
They can
camo.
shoot you.
As
I'm
soon
gonna
as
wear
you
I'm gonna
get
wear a
close
Trump
to
hat.
it, as soon
It's
as you
gonna-
get close to it, you'll see them on the hill.
I'm
They
gonna
see you
confuse-
way before you see
I'm
them.
gonna confuse them. I'm gonna wear a Trump hat. I'm gonna
And
wear a Biden shirt, and they'll be like, "Do I shoot him or do I? What do I do? What do I do here?"
Yeah.
Oh, that's so wrong.
Hey,
just joking.
to wear a Biden shirt and a Trump hat in public.
Just walk around that way.
Yeah.
I think that's what he just said.
Yeah, but he's talking about raiding Area 51 or something.
They'd be like, "Oh, well, this guy's definitely crazy. We'll fucking shoot that. No one will miss him."
Can you guys, where you're at, can you see where that location was, where it all took place?
Not from the hotel.
Not from our window, but yeah.
Okay.
If you walk outside, you can see the Mandalay Bay.
You can see the Mandalay Bay.
Okay.
Our window is a
But I
picture
think
of an alley.
It's an alley.
You might want to
It's
be
like
able,
a-
that you guys.
Here's one thing you might be able to get in with is actually talk to them and say, "Hey, we're doing a blog. We'd like to get some pictures from above. Can we possibly go up and take pictures?"
Yeah, I got a camera.
You know,
Yeah. I
that
got like
might
a
be one way to get in.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna push some buttons and see what we can. The more people resist, the more I'm gonna want to do it. So
Right.
we'll see.
Yeah, we couldn't even get into the pool.
But I just think it's important to bring that back to the discussion of the fourth, in the Q community, because right now we're just so heavily concentrated on what's going on right now with the presidential race and all this. And it's like, there's a lot of things that Q has dropped since 2017.
17. Say 17.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. Quebec. I call it Quebec. Like, if we call it Quebec, no one cares about a Canadian, state. But,
Okay. Sorry, Abby.
Oh, is she from Canada?
No, she's in
No.
Alaska, right? Alaska?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm in
that's
Alaska.
still America.
Close neighbors.
I like that. America. It's in America.
Well, I was going to tell you guys, I think it's a wonderful idea what you're doing, because I've come across that too myself, where a lot of us that have been in the movement from the beginning, we know these things, but people that are just joining, they have no idea. And because there's so much going on right now, they don't go back to the older drops. And so yeah, really good.
Yeah, and
The
another
drops.
thing, I've met a couple people recently that are newcomers to Q, and they don't even know what the Q drops are.
17.
Oh, sorry.
Quebec.
And I'm just like, man, someone did you a disservice of whoever introduced you to Quebec.
Doomed,
They
You're not
people need
Just
to know
say
what
Jim.
these Jim.
They introduced the gym. That's funny.
But yeah,
There you go.
Abby, I completely
Yeah.
agree with you that there's a lot of people coming on
Well,
board now.
And
Yeah.
like, it's one of the fun things, like when we were digging into that at the time, I don't know, you guys might know about it, but there is a musician that was playing at the time when the shots happened.
Oh, Ariana
Now this
Grande.
musician, yes, he later after that, he got a tattoo on his arm. You guys probably know that. And it had, I think I have it pulled up here. It had, I think a jack and an ace of spades. Oh crap, I can't pull it up. Oh, here we go. A jack of spades and an ace of spades. The interesting thing about that is in the Illuminati card game, there's a card called Las Vegas, and it shows a girl, a dancing girl, and it shows two cards, a jack and a spades, a jack of spades and an ace of spades. So there's just some interesting connections about that.
Nice.
So you guys never seen that? That's why we put that in one of my songs.
No.
Oh yeah.
I've never even heard of that.
One of your songs? You're
Oh yeah.
You're a musician?
Oh yeah, yeah. I put out some truth music. Kind
There
of.
you go.
Good for you.
I guess we can't
Any
say
and
that.
all
We can't
ways of
say the
spreading
word, but
truth is
Yeah.
definitely work.
I put out truth music. That's what I call it.
She's a truther.
But yeah, it's crazy. I'm a truther.
That's right.
Well, we gotta go.
Yeah, we gotta go meet someone
Well,
in the
my
lobby.
friend, I used to live in Vegas, so my friend, he just said he's in the lobby. So I'm gonna go. We're gonna go grab him. Thanks
Go
for
grab
having
him.
us on. Hopefully,
Thank
Tim.
you.
Well, Tim and I.
Tim.
will be
What
here.
time tomorrow?
Where
you go?
I don't.
What's good for you?
7 a.m.
What time?
Oh, Jesus. We're in Vegas, man.
Yeah, but what Pacific time, Vegas
No,
time?
no. Tomorrow. Yeah, I'm on Pacific time. I'm in Sacramento.
Oh, you're in the United States.
You could have came to Vegas. We invited you.
You said that you. Oh.
Vegas.
Man.
But I just got here, guys, and I'm
Okay.
Okay.
That's
I thought you looked. The video quality was a little bit better.
yeah, way better. Got a new computer. It has a
Awesome.
HD camera.
There
Nice.
you go. All right, guys. Thank you for having us on. We'll talk.
How
to you guys
how
later.
about tomorrow at like 10?
10? Perfect. Perfect.
Because then we're going to the pool right after.
Yeah.
You go to the pool, and I'm sure there's important.
We have to be on a list to get in the pool.
I'm gonna pass out Quebec bracelets at the pool.
There you
got a
go.
bunch of
Take
them.
pictures so we can share.
Oh, that might be called pornographic material where we're gonna be. So I don't know if I can.
Are you from Montreal?
No, I'm from Buffalo.
You're from
It's
Florida.
a special pool.
Hold on, what?
I live in Florida.
They're gonna speak back to you in French if you hand out Quebec stuff.
Well, they'll be speaking to a brick wall because I know a little bit of Spanish and absolutely no French. So.
All right, guys. Thanks for having us on.
Have a good time.
Guys.
Nice meeting
Try
you
to catch
guys.
you guys' show tomorrow.
have a good one.
Yeah, nice meeting you guys.
Tomorrow, 10 a.m. on Real Informative at Twitter and Informative Info at YouTube. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna find it. I'll find
And are
it.
you gonna make a Thora3.com account and stream through that too?
Yeah, I'm already signed up, and I told you I was, and I had not streamed since then.
Yeah, but I hear you. So actually, you can actually stream except it wouldn't let me do it today. So
But I'm not on my regular computer in San Antonio, so I'm gonna try to figure it out and see. We're not even using Streamline. Oh no, we're not doing the show. We're on Zoom. Duh. Anyway, thank you for having us on.
Okay, let's zoom it up.
All right, go have fun, guys.
You guys be
You
safe.
send me the key.
Thank
I
you.
can stream it in.
I'll be safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Talk
See
to you
you
tomorrow.
safe.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Be good.
All
That
right.
was so
And then there-
cool.
And actually, I have to get going myself because I had already scheduled a week, or not even a week, almost good couple of days beforehand with Dumbbell and Nanza. And they're from Australia and Ireland, so I have to kind of meet up with them.
Cool.
Well, you have a good time. And watch
Yeah,
out for
thank
the
you, guys.
virus. They're dangerous.
Thank you. Bye, Ninja.
Yeah, thank you,
Bye,
everybody.
Ninja.
All right,
Bye,
Ninja.
Ninja.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Wow. That was so cool.
Everybody came through today.
That is
Well, it-
awesome.
We've been added an extra hour to the Dee Stevens show today.
Yeah, we did. Whoop, whoop.
And I'm about out of voice
I
myself.
know you still have another show to do.
You got
7
Rev
p.m.
Radio tonight?
Absolutely.
I was lucky they had someone else like last Friday, but this Friday I should attend.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Is the doc on?
Well, that doctor's something else, Dr. Truant.
Yeah.
He's a naturopath. He's a licensed naturopathic doctor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so of course naturopaths don't fit in with the current medical who stuff, you know.
Yep, yep.
But he'll heal you up pretty good. You know, I've taken his advice and I didn't die.
There you go.
So
That's a start.
just saying. And I don't politically agree with him very often, but I like him. And it's like George was saying the other day, where there's a lot of things we don't agree on, but we can at least have a conversation.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I like
That's
that.
what we all
People-
need to learn to do.
A lot of people like to focus on what they disagree on rather than what they actually agree on. And it's really easy to argue, but it's hard to find middle ground and have a discussion. And that's why people would rather stick in their own ways or bicker over things that are
When are you
actually.
guys running for Congress? I could see Abby Cook, Southeast
My brother
Alaska,
is.
George Orwell, North Colorado. North Colorado's
I
coming
read. I ran for city council 2
on the
times. and they didn't want
17th.
me.
North Colorado's going to be in Sacramento, by the way. Football.
My brother's running here in Colorado
Oh,
for state
Legislature or Congress?
state Congress.
That's serious stuff.
Yeah.
Hmm.
He's on the ballot already. You can find it. If you're in District 32, DM me. I'll give you all the information. If you're not in District 32, you can't vote for him. So I'm not going to dox myself.
oh my goodness. That
Good
is a good
guy.
one. All right, are we going to finish wrapping up the 17 drops?
Oh, we need to have a nice prayer. Let's have a prayer for the final 5.
Okay.
Who's gonna pray?
Okay, I'll volunteer.
Good
job.
Do it, Dee.
All right. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for another day, because we know that each day it is a gift from you. We are not promised another. So we ask a hedge of protection over all of us who are looking for the truth and sharing the truth, Father God, and also for our leaders, whether it be local, whether it be national, whether it be worldly. You have placed them in their positions for your purpose and your plan, and we just pray that they lean in and be a part of your will and not just their own. And I ask it all in your heavenly name. In Jesus Christ's name I pray. Amen and amen.
Amen. Can I have an alibi? I want to pray for the victims of these fires that happened on the West Coast. I know 2 people now that lost their houses.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
that the guy that was on with J Red, I've already forgot his name because it's new. I forgot to write it down.
Tim.
But he said the probability. I don't know anybody that died from COVID. I know 2 people that lost their houses in these California fires. That's something. And I have to
Right.
second. I think
At least they're knocking.
Yeah.
We were talking about those no knocks earlier.
All right. Oh
For
gosh.
those that
No.
are watching in my chat room, I want to thank you guys
Was
so much
nobody-
for showing up, and thank you. Just thank you for all the participation.
and some of the people that are really helpful people, like they give you this. And then I'm sorry, I'm alibiing. We already closed the show off. They
Quite
burnt
right.
the hill out of the hills. And these are like real Americans. They're all like Grizzly Adams up there living up in the mountains, and they're losing their stuff.
Yeah, and like insurance money doesn't fix your memories and your, like the financial aspect of it is the least important, like they lost memories, they lost maybe a childhood home, like these are things that are irreplaceable. It's not, you know, I'm glad for their safety that they're safe, but it's terrible to lose, your home.
Oh yeah.
Well, I
Some
heard
people,
Yeah.
some people, like there were some people arrested for arson up in Oregon.
Several.
You guys read about that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any? I mean, what's going on with that? I mean, I don't hear the media, mainstream
Arrest and
media talking
release.
about. They released them.
Arrest and release.
I'm not
That's
joking.
I'm going to
exactly what
read
it
the
is.
email I received from one of the people that lost their home. I'm not going to say their name. Hey there, Jim. Yeah, it's crazy. So many people lost, but such is the vibe for this storm we find ourselves in. In a way, I have been prepared for it my whole life. I just never knew in what form it would take. Thanks for your help offer. I'm good. I have a pretty great support network. I have a GoFundMe and got some donations, and I'm going to go on a road trip to fluff off this heaviness.
Mm.
The people I know that lost their homes are literally hippies. They're like 2020 hippies. And they're cool people. I feel for them, you know. Anyway, I'll see what we can do about it. I'm sorry to interrupt you guys again. I'm always interrupting
Oh
everybody.
no, that's
No, it's
good.
You are
I
great.
fine.
know
It's
someone, in one of my Twitter groups who had to evacuate. Thank God he still has a home to go back to, but it was hit or miss whether it was going to come directly to him or not. He didn't know. He just knew he had to grab his family and get the heck out of there.
And there's also I did some stuff about that, but I'm going to go and sort of show something. There is a lot of, let's see, I don't know if I can do it or not. This word right here,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of that took place besides the arson. In my belief, allegedly, if I can say that the right way so it actually doesn't get censored. So,
Yeah.
It's so the right way. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Just the second word in that.
yeah,
You did
just
perfect.
the second word, it's like a D and a E
And
and a
they're up in
W.
they're
Yeah.
from satellites and stuff.
Mhm. Yep. Yep, yep, yep.
It's
Uh,
a word. That's
are
like
It's sort of like yeah, it's sort of like a weapon of some sort that they have talked about.
oh.
Yeah, someone just announced how China and Russia are looking into these technologies, and
Yeah.
that we need to up our space preparedness to be able to combat the abilities in which they've announced that they have now.
Yeah.
You guys know E the friend?
Yeah, E the friendly
Yeah,
now
he
because they
had
Yeah, he's
deleted
E
him again.
friendly now. Okay.
he had
He was talking about weaponizing a a biological weaponization of some diseases that is prevalent in America. And then he got suspended
mhm.
right away, right after that.
Yeah.
Back to
mm,
so you need to follow him back if
There
you get
is
enough.
a
I
backup channel.
verified this person already.
There is definitely a
Yeah.
backup channel.
Yeah, Mr. Friendly's a good guy. He typically has great information.
Can,
And
can somebody
typically.
tweet that?
Yeah. Well, you're
and
on that, aren't you, Orlando?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then. Thank you.
all right, so and I gotta go, D.
You know what?
You
I
guys
want to thank
been on.
everybody who's been on. This has been so very cool to have everybody on like this. And I only had one little burp burp in the whole system. I mean, I didn't check back. Oh my goodness! See, I say something about a burp, and then I see that I'm beginning to buffer. Isn't that crazy? Burp is a bad word now, really? Come on, people. That's crazy.
Come on, man.
Yeah, come on, man.
Come on, man.
Well, all right. Well, Dee, thanks for having us on.
Thank you guys. It
You
means
do
a
such a
lot
great
to
job.
me. It really, really means a lot that, I was gonna pop on with Jim and just say hello into our show, but then it ended up being so very cool. I love this.
We made it more cool than we intended.
Absolutely. I gotta go and make sure to change all of my titles in the other, like D Live and Twitch and all that
Yeah, I
stuff.
did that already. I added you in. I'm only streaming on Torah3.com because nobody would let me connect to them to stream today.
Oh my goodness. Well, I didn't even check. I'm
censored.
watching Toro through yours. That was from earlier. So
No, it's still on. We're still on it.
okay, good.
Nice.
So that's backed up there. We're backed up there. We didn't cut the stream at all. It works.
Awesome.
So,
George, we've got to get together, we got to finish that thingy that we're supposed to get on to. And Abby,
Amen.
you can always reach out to me. I'm here, girl.
All right.
You too, Orlando.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, Orlando.
Yay.
Love
Well,
you
it's been great, you guys.
Yeah,
I hope you
love
guys will have a
too.
great day. Stay safe.
Yeah, thank you all. I
Awesome.
appreciate the invite.
Baby fist.
Baby fist.
He's the
Bye,
man.
Jim.
I try.
Thanks, Jim, for having me on too.
Did Jim leave us already?
I don't know.
No, he's
still
still
there.
there. I see him. He's got to be moved. No, maybe he didn't move. But he has to hang up.
All right.
Bye, guys. Hey, remember, God loves you and I love you too.
Thank you, Dee.
Bye.
Oh. Now he's still on here because this is a Zoom.
Hey, wait a minute. Now it says Orlando's the host.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's got premium. He's got that premium Zoom.
Is that what it is? You be zooming. What? You be zooming.
Well, I guess we're wrapping up, guys. I appreciate all of you. Thank you all.
Yes.
We'll see you all soon.
Guys so much.
Okay.
Mwah.
I'll see you guys later. Take care.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, Orlando. Thank you.